Well, alright. Welcome to another one of BumpmyStump's World of Tanks Xbox 360 replays. Tonight is a twofer. We just purchased, well, this is Tuesday night, but Monday night we purchased the PZ KPFW B2 740F French tank that was taken over by the Germans and retrofitted. We are on Sacred Valley, the first game. And this tank right here, if anyone follows my channel, they probably know that I really like the Tier 3 PZ S35. And this tank right here, the PZ S35 is a Tier 3, and it sees up to Tier 5 matches. And it's pretty much really a very similar tank to this, about the same. This tank's a little bit faster. The identical gun, there's no difference in the gun, so this is a Tier 3 gun, which works great in Tier 3. It's unbelievable at Tier 3. At Tier 4 it's okay, Tier 5 it sucks. So when you get it in the PZS 35, you get in Tier 5 matches, you might as well just sit back and do nothing. I've heard people say, "You're in a medium tank, you should be up help us, go kill that Matilda," stuff like that. And it's like, I can't penetrate a Matilda unless I get around him, and it's not fast enough to get around him. I know Matilda's not a fast tank, but neither is the PZS 35. So what this tank is pretty much, it has more hull armor, slightly higher top speed, the exact same gun, which is a really fast firing gun with not a lot of penetration and not a lot of damage. And this tank has I think 10 millimeters less turret armor. So this tank will only see up to Tier 4. It never goes above its tier, which is good and a bad thing. Good because it won't see Tier 5s. Bad because in some games, when you play the PZS 35, you get Tier 3 games. And a PZS 35 in a Tier 3 game is just, it's a monster. I just had a game the other day, I haven't put up yet, but I had a 10 kill game. I hadn't played the tank in months. Jumped in it like the second game, I had a 10 kill game. So that's the PZS 35 in a Tier 3 match. This tank right here sees Tier 4 no matter what. And M2 mediums, hey, I can take them out all day long. But that Matilda, I'm not going to penetrate it. It's not going to happen. You might get this lucky time when you can track it, or once in a while if you get a perfect shot into the gun port or something, you might get a penetration like that. But I've actually had this gun bounce on the back of a Matilda. So, you know, it's really hit and miss even on the back. So whenever you get a heavily armored tank, I believe the penetration in this is somewhere, I want to say, I should look it up before I even open my mouth, so I probably won't. It's below 50. It's like 42 or something maybe. I can't remember exactly what it is. I'd have to look it up. But it's really low penetration, and it's really good for Tier 3. Adequate for Tier 4 if you use premium. But you see that Matilda, I can't even get the track. But you know, I don't mind throwing a bunch of shells over there because I've got 80 shells or something in the tank. So it's like, actually I think it's more like 190 or 100 when you start off. There's certain tanks you can get. That AMX 38 will give me trouble, but if I aim in and shoot in the right spot, I can penetrate it. This tank, I'm going to start just calling it the PZ B2, is what I'll call it. It's, like I said, it's a plus and minus thing when it comes to the way it works out. The turret armor I wish was just a little bit more, because the turret armor on this is weaker than the Tier 3. but the hull armor is better. But I mean, once people know to shoot you in the turret, you know, it's kind of tier 3s penetrate you easier if they're shooting you in the turret than they would with the PZ-35. So I think if you're thinking about buying one of them, I've only played a few games in this, so don't quote me as far as the gospel here. But I still think the PZ-35 is a little bit better, because most games in the PZ-35 you're going to get in tier 3 and tier 4 matches, with the occasional tier 5. So in tier 3 and tier 4, it's just as good as this tank, and actually a little bit better because the turret armor is better. So what's the bonus into having this tank over that one? You'll never see a tier 5 game. However, you always see tier 4 games, so it's a toss-up. But for as little money as it was, you know, hey, I like the PZ-35 so much, so I was going to buy this one and try it out. Like I said, I don't hate it. It's not horrible. Excuse me. It's just, the gun is just really not adequate for tier 4s. You'll see, like, right here, I right for the turret. I missed the turret there, but I miss it there. Try to track him, so I get him to stop moving. And right here, I'm just going to start just trading shots right through his turret. He doesn't know where to shoot me, I don't believe. Because he's shooting down bottom, then he's shooting down bottom, and he's shooting at my cupola, and he's shooting back at my hull, and he's shooting at the back of my tank. And I'm using premium, but I'm going right through every shot right to the bottom of this turret, you know? So, it's like, if you know where to shoot this, it's not hard to kill. But then again, this gun does so little damage per shot that, you know. As you can see right now, it's 6-on-1, so it was 7-on-1 just a second ago. And I'm thinking, maybe I could pull this off, but it ain't gonna happen. But we see another B1 over there. We finish him off. Aim down, put 2 into that 38, and finish him off, but I'm getting pounded from every direction. And right now, I really probably should have stayed put and turned around and backed up, but I was worried about that artillery dropping something on me. So I'm just going to keep trucking it down here, and that's just my downfall. But artillery did try to shoot me, but I get pounded from the side, and that's the end of it. So, but that was the first game. Still not a horrible game. I think it was, like I said, it was the second game that I played in this tank. Overall, I end up with a Master Gunner and Ace Tanker on a defeat. You know, hey, not bad. Only 2,200 silver because I used a lot of premium and it really didn't do a lot of damage. I'm used to getting 40 to 50,000 in the PZ-35, so like I said, if someone was going to go out and say, which one should I buy? I would say buy the S35, personally. But if you have the PZ-35 and you like it, there's no reason not to buy it. I want to see what that DJ Black miner sent me a message, said good shot. He was one of the ones I killed there. I was expecting some kind of message from one of them complaining that, you know, this, that, or the other. You know, they do stuff like that. People get mad when you take them out, and they're like, "You cheated," all kinds of crap like that. So that's what I was expecting. But it was nice to see someone just say, "Hey, thanks, good shot." So I say thanks back, and we get into our second match. And this one is on Redshire. We're going to push over towards the hill and see what we can come up with. That's a sexy tank. I think I like the looks of it for the tiers. For the tier 4, I think that's a really cool looking tank. Got the big eyeball on the side of it. Looks like a butterfly or something. I know it sounds weird, like a butterfly, I guess, but It just looks cool with a big old 0. It looks like an eye sticking out of the side of it. We're going to push over by the 1-2 and see if we can go right down that back trench. Tier 4, we might be able to. Might not be many tanks over there, so excuse me again. We're going to come over this hill, and we're going to see if we can see anything. And hey, here comes a Stewart. You know, I'm going to get a shot on him. I'm not really too scared of him, but he's not moving out. And I want to go out and push up, but I'm worried that something's going to spot me from the left. But seeing my teammates down below me, he's not spotted yet. Hey, time to mosey on along with him. I want to get down in that gully. That's where I want to be. So I took the kind of a little bit shorter route than the AMX-40 did, but nothing came up over the hill, so we sink one into the Stewart. And I'm not going to take no for an answer. He's dead. Boom. Ramming speed ahead. So that was a quick kill. And that's something that's good about this over the PZ-35. It has a higher top speed. So when you get it moving, and higher weight. So when you get it moving, if you can get into a position where you can, you know, smack a tank by running into it, it works out. I've only done it a couple times, but, you know, might be something I do a lot more in this tank. Looking at these two tanks, the PZ-35 and this one in World of Tanks, in the actual garage, the turret looks identical. When I say identical, I mean identical. We didn't penetrate their armor. There's a couple minor differences, but it's the same turret. I don't know how Wargaming gets away with saying, you know, this has 10 millimeters less armor, because it's the same turret. They've just shaded it a little different here and moved a little knob on the top. I guess they did it just so they could put this at tier 4. Give you less turret armor, they can stick it down to tier 4. That A-20 running across there, I wonder if I'm going to get a shot on. And they got artillery, so I'm sitting here thinking, I don't want to get spotted, really. We bounce a couple shots, and he gets finished off. And here comes my nemesis. Matildas don't work good with this tank. Or the PZ-35. Just, you can't penetrate them. There's a couple others you can't penetrate, but there's a lot of Matildas that play this game because they're heavily armored little tanks, so a lot of people like using them. Let's see if we can get a shot on that Matilda. I know I'm not going to penetrate it, but, you know, sometimes you do get the random penetration, so. And with the amount of shells you have, I mean, you have like 100 shells and the 2-second reload. There's no sense of not throwing a couple shells up there unless you're really trying to hide or something. You know, spray and pray kind of deal. I'm going to drop down here, plop down in the water, move back up over these hills because the game's pretty much over. I haven't really even done much. But there should be an artillery and maybe another tank over here at some point. Maybe we'll run into something. I kind of went my own way on this game. I had that other tank with me for the first couple minutes there, and then I just kind of kept on pushing down. He stayed back there, and now I think he's pulling up behind me at some point, but you know, he's off to the left and kind of behind me a little bit. Oh, and we got a T-46 sitting there, AFK. I'm gonna, this gun fires so quick, I'm gonna unload right into him and finish him off. Kind of unfair, really. However, he was there, so no sense in not shooting at him. If I didn't shoot him, someone was gonna. I missed that shot right there, which really stinks, but I sink that one. Tried going through the building. I didn't know if that building was destructible or not. Bounce off him a couple times. Sink one right there, though. And we're going to keep on going and see if we can find that artillery. Should be over here somewhere, I would imagine. But, you know, hey, he could be anywhere, I guess. I'm thinking he's down here in front of me. Thinking he's down in this corner somewhere. And I make the mistake of turning to the right there. If I had stayed to the left, I might have got a shot on him, because he was right below me. But everyone's going to surround him and take him out before I get a chance to, so. And he's finished off. Good game, affirmative. We end up with 40,000 silver, much better than the last game. 1,972 XP. And we get another ace tanker. At least this time it's on a win, right? 4 tanks destroyed. $220 damage, 137, 106, 204. We end up doing 667 damage, which is not a lot. I mean, I've had games in my PZS 35 where I've doled out 1,100, 1,200, 1,300 damage, so 667 with the same gun, and that's not a very good game, but because not many people have the tank, it was an ace tanker, so I figured I'd get these videos out there because, you know, the tank just went up for sale yesterday. Well, yesterday as of the time I recorded this, and, you know, someone out there might want it, so, you know, if it boils down to it. If you have the PZS 35 and you want a tank that's similar but only sees tier 4, buy it. Or think, well, the PZS 35, it's pretty much the same thing, and sometimes I get tier 3 matches instead of always tier 4 matches, and, you know, like I said early in the video, it's a toss-up. They're both decent little tanks if you like. You know, I just bought it because I don't have any tier 4s really, so. Anyways, comment, rate, subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down, tell me what I did right, tell me what I did wrong, and remember, you're on the battlefield, shoot the red ones.